Hello. I will be showing you guys a bull skip. First of all, if you do want to practice this subchapter and this trick alone, if you do have the dev menu enabled, you can go to Clockwork Lower Tower and go to number 4, Statue Room, and it'll bring you to the room for bull skip. You do get a save, so if you restart from checkpoint, it'll just bring you back. So take note of that as you will. But I want to kind of give the time to teach this mechanic that May has for a majority of this trick, which are clone jump refreshes. The clone jump refreshes are very useful if you somehow just get stuck somewhere or get a really low jump and you want to kind of elevate yourself. So normally what you can do is you can clone and recall immediately if you'd like. You can clone, save a dash out of it, whatever. But what you can do is if you clone and land anywhere on the floor, there's a small timing window to where you can jump as soon as you recall. So what you want to look for is this small white flash under May's feet, and once that flashes, you want to press jump, and you'll have both jumps ready to go, and giving you more height than you normally can because you won't have your jumps if you stay on the air. So this is something that you can probably practice for a little bit before getting into the skips. But for now, I'll be teaching you a bull skip, and we're going to be starting on the left side. So I hope this helps, and yeah, good luck. So this skips a big majority of this entire room. Normally, you're supposed to be going to each of these rooms, grabbing a key, winding it, turning this statue guy, and eventually getting to the bull room. Purpose of this room, or this whole skip, is that you're just ignoring the keys, the statue, and the bull, and going straight to the very last checkpoint of this room. There's two ways to get out of here. You can go either on the left side or the right side. The right side is slightly faster, but generally more difficult, and the left side is a little bit easier, but also not as fast. So if you want to learn about the right side, you can probably skip to a certain time in the video, and I'll just timestamp it. But for now, I'm going to teach you the left side. So generally what you want to do is have Cody kind of stand anywhere safe so you can get as many frames as you possibly can, because this room does take quite a lot of your frames away. So it's best to kind of just keep them safe, keep them away from anything that's moving or anything like that, so you have the most amount of frames. So what I'm going to teach you is this left side. You can go up this rail, skip it however you like, dash jumps, whatever. But generally what you're going to be doing is going to the top of this hole. So from the start, I taught you how to do the clone jump refreshes, where you clone, land, see the bubble, and you jump, you get your double jumps back. So you want to go up this wall, kind of just scale it however you like. It's kind of a freestyle thing, but as long as your end goal is to be around here, close to the center hole. There's two ways to get up here. You can jump, dash, jump, grab the wall, and jump up there. Or, if you come back up, you can jump, dash, jump, put a clone, recall, and get up top. Those are the two options you can do. And once you're up here, you can see that this gear is turning. There's a wall just behind it, so what you can do is slide jump towards it, or you can do a time dash, just kind of fall, trust it, because this wall will be here to follow you anyway, because there's quite large. You're gonna dash all the way to the end, slide jump, and there's this invisible wall here that's solid. The wall behind this wall in particular is not solid, so you can kind of just walk here. And just as a disclaimer, this part of the trick is basically just a mirror of that side. So I'll be teaching you this way, which will generally be the same type of movement going from the other side. So what I usually do here is I kind of set myself up against this wall so I can have enough space to start a slide jump. We're going to be slide jumping to that top flower right here in the middle, and start a clone jump. So kind of give yourself some space, maybe just like diagonally go for a slide jump here. Slide jump, jump dash towards this flower, place a clone. And the most important part is to land, because you do want your jump refreshes. You're going to recall to that clone, jump, or jump dash, whatever you want, onto the top of this flower. Now it gets pretty much easier from here, since you already know all that. So this part here, this pillar in the corner is solid. What you're going to want to do here, you can probably put a safety clone just in case. But what you want to do here is to do a slide jump to the top, and then once you're up there, jump dash, place a clone, and if you're high enough, you can just recall instantly. There's a fair warning for this little arch here. It is pretty small of a ledge, so you can possibly fall off if you're not that careful. So I just advise to be pretty much sprinting and dashing towards like the wall so you're as safe as possible. And you're just gonna dash and run across here. Two options again. You can go to the bottom flower to be safe, or you can try and go for an oyster from this ledge to the top flower. Generally you do want to slide a little bit longer to get enough distance and enough height to land on that flower. But if you are high enough to get to that, you can possibly clone jump and get to here. And then this whole wall at the top is not solid, so what you can do is you can just kind of fall onto this corner and just land on top, and you're here. So now I'm going to try and teach you guys the right side. So I'll give you a timestamp to skip to this next step that I'm going to show off after we do the right side next. I'll be teaching you the right side now, if you've skipped ahead this far. Hello. This is the harder side of bull skip, mainly because we're going to a darker out of bounds area. There are walls that kind of block your vision, so that's what makes this kind of the harder version. But the reward is that this is 3 seconds faster going the left side, because this is a much more linear path, less setup, and all that, yeah. So I'm gonna repeat this because I said this for the left side. You do want Cody to be somewhere safe where you can save a lot of frames, because frames are good for the soul. But generally the ending part of bull skip does need frames in order to get jump refreshes. I'll explain that later on. But if you are here from the left side, you can just skip ahead to the last step of bull skip where I explain what those are. But for now, this is the right side, so yeah. What you want to do is that you can go to these rails, and you can see that there is a hole next to the gear on the wall here. Now this hole is what we're going to be aiming for. And the main mechanic of the rail right now, what we're going to be doing, we're going to dash jump off of it, and with that, we're going to hold forward, because holding forward kind of dash jumps you off to a certain direction once it kind of loses traction. So what we're going to do is dash jump twice, hold forward. When you land on the second dash jump, you're gonna be holding forward the whole time, and it allows you to kind of just redirect towards this hole into this ledge. Kind of give that a few tries, trying to get to this ledge, and we'll be going on to the next step. But the next step, what you want to do here is just jump dash towards the gear. This invisible floor will catch you. This gear is not solid, so you can just stay here. But there is an invisible wall to your right that will just kind of catch you and stop you, whatever. So you'll be fine. And what you want to do here is slide jump towards the Cody and May icons and go to the right. So now you're elevated just a little bit higher here. There are two ways you can do this. One is that you can slide jump, clone this wall to your right. Oh, one. Try and do it again. Slide jump, clone to the right. Just barely make it, but here you can kind of see that you're blind. You can't really see where you're going. You can put your camera a lot lower than the cube itself and just kind of walk forward until you get to the gear. Once you're at this gear, you kind of want to turn slightly right. So you're kind of just aiming towards like the ridge of the gear. So you can jump, dash, clone, kind of catch yourself midair, see if you're on top of this wall. Because ultimately you're going to this wall at the very end. Because this is where the two paths kind of meet and all that. But there is another way you can do this. What I do personally is I slide jump towards the gear. You can kind of see that there's like a metal piece up there on the wall, and then to the right or to the left of that is this flat wall, kind of lighting up where May is. I generally line up to the center of the wall and aim towards it, because you can kind of see if I slide jump up there, there's like a room of light that you can kind of spot. So I aim for that. So I slide jump, jump clone towards that light. You can kind of check yourself by cloning as soon as you land and see where you are and kind of adjust to whatever direction you'd like, because this wall is just going to stop you from kind of seeing where you are. Now this next part is pretty much the same as the left side. I can probably just timestamp those directions because they're generally the same way, but kind of mirrored. So if you want to see the next step, you can skip to where I show you where the jump refreshes are. Alright, now we're here. You probably skipped ahead from whatever side you decided to go with. And now you're here inside this wall. What do we do? So what you want to do is you want to be to the left side of this bowl, because if you are up here, your camera will probably be a lot closer than mine. What you want to do is probably just walk down left here, kind of make yourself stop because there's a wall, and double jump. That will generally just get your camera unlocked or anything like that. And what you want to do here is you can double jump clone against this invisible wall, and I want you to tap down as soon as you clone back. So not too light, not too much. You can see you can miss this wall. It's incredibly thin, but you do want to be on top of this wall to be using the safest strat for this last step of bull skip. And so what you can do is I kind of aim my camera towards the wood, or towards this wood and the kind of out of bounds void, and kind of have like a in-between part. And what you do here is you're going to jump, dash, jump outwards and put a clone on your last jump. But you don't want to do this too soon, because there's an invisible ceiling above you. So if you can kind of see that you're getting popped up when you put your clone down, you're doing this correctly. But what you want to do is jump, dash, jump, put a clone down, get your jump refreshed. And when you come back to your clone, you can either look towards the shadow. I'm gonna point with a maze bun here, if I can. I can't. Okay, never mind. So with my cursor, I guess I have low shadows on. So there's like this kind of staircase of shadows. You're kind of aiming generally at the topmost, brightest light there. Or kind of aim for the same lineup where it's the out of bounds and the wood kind of meeting together. I'm gonna go for the out of bounds and wood meeting together and see how that results. So see I can get my jumps refreshed and make it to the top of the invisible wall. If you don't get the same kind of jump refreshes, you can see yourself kind of stall. And if you fall slowly, you can ground pound and jump and kind of put a clone down just in case you like almost fall again. But do be careful. You do have to kind of pay attention to if you are falling slowly, then ground pound. Otherwise, if you're too far, you can ground pound away all the way down here. And you don't want to do that. So kind of give yourself some repetitions coming down to this wall, level jumping, cloning, tapping down, line up, jump, dash, jump, clone, land, clone back, find your sweet spot. It's generally in the area between this wall and these shadows. But you do want to be holding forward the whole time because you want to get these jump refreshes. And it's the safest way to get the ground pounds as well. I'm going to show you the harder way of doing this, which we do wall-less. But we're not going to be using the wall. We're going to slide jump over the wall and do pretty much the exact same steps as before. So what you can do is you can dash, slide jump, dash jump, trying to get as far as possible from the center, but also close enough to where you can get the jump refreshes. And again, we're going to land, clone back, towards the corner, kind of freestyle it, see if you can get up tops of the wall. That is probably the hardest part, if you dare go for it. It's not that easy, and also, whenever you put a clone down, it'll kind of lock that position of your camera. So I can look completely the opposite direction. If I clone back, it'll bring me back to the same camera position I had when I cloned. So keep that in mind. And what you're going to do is you're going to slide jump up to this platform for the very last step. Come out, you can see the bowl, ground pound down, interact with this lever, and you'll get a checkpoint. And once you get that checkpoint, you can restart, and now you're just in the next section with your partner. Move on with the rest of the chapter. Hope this helped. Good luck on your runs, and go fast and speedy.